None of us? Well, you okay, thank you. You got little whoopee cushions, right? They're mini whoopee cushions, they're tiny. And they make, oh, they're branded. I like that. That's
Yes.
awesome. Folding chairs.
Come see our sketch comedy show at 7 p.m.
That's it.
In this room.
Yeah. Last night's hilarious. Come
All our stuff's over here. Don't touch it. Jock straps.
Hi, everybody.
Surprise reveal.
This is the Angels.
I believe is that what they call this? Angels and demons, but I don't think there's any demons.
Demons here are angels and gods, something along those lines.
Is this Angels? What was it? What we just?
I think it's just angels
Still
now.
an angel.
Yeah, we're just angels.
Where's a bunch of angels?
Hi, we're from Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
Who do you play? Which angel are you?
I'm Reese. Who are you?
I'm the Grand Minister,
Okay.
your daddy.
You my dad. You my brother.
Plays Sour, and his universe is gone.
So no, well, not anymore.
Maybe it's in the void.
It's well. It came back.
So yeah, anybody caught up on Loki? Never mind.
Everybody been watching? Who's been watching Loki?
Nice.
Those of you that did not raise your hands need to figure out what's wrong with your life.
Yeah. Unless you're doing that thing where you wait so you can watch all the episodes at once.
It's the farmer. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
power
I
level 10.
love that.
Perfect. Good to go.
I think
OG
about-
power level right there.
That is the character I think of anytime we think of, like, we never get to do Texas accents or anything, like, in general, but there's something about the people who live outside of West City that are just, oh, how you doing? Like, I love it. Oh, what's going on over there? Oh, they're probably testing some. Okay, yeah, like, so we're supposed to do an angel panel, but, like, we're three friends that have known each other for ever, decades, so, like, okay.
You can hear me, right?
Great. So we can really talk about anything. Do not feel that you need to be restricted to any sort of conversation about Dragon Ball, even though that will be the thing that everybody knows what you're talking about if you do that. If you start bringing up Golden Kamuy, like 3 of you might know what that is.
My Hero Academia, Attack on Titan.
Yeah, talk about any. We can talk about
Tokyo Ghoul.
Tokyo Ghoul. So we didn't have anything structured because we just kind of found out about this.
We just found out we had a panel.
We're here to, so we're here to just talk with y'all because we're glad to be around people. If you have a question, please raise your hand because I'm gonna speak for me. I'm super ADHD, so it's really hard for me to not just bounce around.
Otherwise, we're just going to start
Oh my
talking about
God.
Dragon Ball.
Through the
Why
whole
we
time.
love it.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, when did you watch Z first? Dragon Ball first? What was your? Yeah, Z was kind of my intro too. Did you?
I think I actually started with the original Dragon Ball,
Yeah.
which back when it would show up at like 2 o'clock in the morning
Yeah.
on Adult Swim.
OG.
And I remember being very frustrated with Dragon Ball Z growing up because you had commercials and there wasn't a lot of consistency. Sometimes they would stick to a saga, but sometimes they would bounce around episodes. And it's like if you're in the middle of a fight, it might be an entire episode of like close-ups, and then it's like that's all the Dragon Ball you get today.
Yep.
For the
Frieza's
fancy
face,
internet.
Frieza's face going, ah! Goku's face going, ah!
Next time.
This is going to be the nostalgia panel for just a minute. Y'all remember when you could buy Dragon Ball only using like the VHSs that had like 5 episodes on it, and like to get was it like I can't remember at this point because it was so long ago.
Three times.
Three?
Three episodes
Oh,
per
God.
VHS. $45 to $50 a pop per VHS. 3 episodes. That's Sam Goody.
And I still have a bunch of those. And like to get like the Cell Saga is just a library of VHS. Okay.
And if you had all the VHSs, it created one big picture of the saga.
Just real quick, because people used to have to do this to me with 8 tracks. So a VHS was this big rectangle with magnet tape, and we thought it was a good way to store media. It's not. It's bad over time. You have to rewind it. You can't just be like, I'm gonna go to this part. It was awful. Now you guys can just get Funimation now on the app and watch the entirety of Dragon Ball. I'm not trying to pimp the company right now, but like if you're an anime fan and like you're like, oh I can't, just get the subscription. Like it's like Hulu price, and then you can watch anything at All of it. I said the same thing for...
Every anime that Funimation has ever owned, dubbed, subbed, anything for the 25 years that it's been around.
This is so much to watch.
There's a lot. You'll never watch it all. You never will. I can't. I gave up.
Oh God, yeah. No. You watch what you can.
Find the stuff you like.
You should be. That has been away from Funimation long enough that not everybody knows that anymore. Do you know what you should be watching? Does anybody not know what I'm talking about?
Let me say it.
Hey! No, that's
New
awesome.
to the funny crew. Welcome.
They used to do that all the time. Be like, Funimation, you should be watching.
Good Lord, sir. Do not put that next to your mouth.
It was funnier that way.
I always read it as, you should be watching.
Oh, okay.
Or, you should be watching.
You should be watching.
You should.
I have a friend that just like listens to media, and it kills me for that reason. Like, you should be watching.
You should be watching.
You should. There's a lot of asides. Anyway, we're gonna keep doing this again as friends who use.
Until you raise your hand. Who's got a question?
Oh hi.
Yes.
Armin versus Yuri Kotsky, who would win in a fight? I would imagine that once Yuri starts doing triple salchows in midair, he's just as effective at killing Titans as Armin. Especially since he's wearing them on his feet. He's got his parry blades on his feet. That's a close call. I don't think Armin is anywhere near as physically capable as Yuri is, but he can fly around. He's got the brains. That's good. That's a hard. Yeah, Armin's got the brains. Yuri's got the physicality. So like, make them do the fusion dance, and they're practically Mikasa.
It's like a Batman situation where it's like if you give Armin enough time, like Armin's gonna win.
Maybe.
It's like Batman wins anything if you give him enough time.
Yeah, Yuri would run if Yuri can't take out Armin fast enough. He'll run out of energy, and then Armin just brain him to death. You know. So yeah,
There you go.
Thank you. Great question. Not even Dragon Ball related. It doesn't have to be. Yes.
Ian, you versus Austin, who would win in a fight?
We're getting a little personal now.
Shall we take bets?
We're lovers, not fighters. Someone did this to me and why am I blanking on his name? Obvious husband.
Oh,
Micah.
Micah. I saw you saw it. Someone did that to us at a Q&A. Don't do that.
Micah trying to get y'all to fight.
Mike is the nicest person. Next question.
And the answer is neither one of us fight.
Second. Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, thanks for being here.
Thank you all for
Thank
being
you.
here. You survived! You did it! You did it!
Not everybody's saying anymore. And we appreciate it. Thanks for coming to the show.
So I'll keep it Dragon Ball related. Who are your favorite Dragon Ball characters?
All right.
Individually, Dragon Ball. I mean,
Here you go.
Vegeta. I think as from just the standpoint of like an actor, like he has the best character arc in the entire show, hands down.
Yeah. Well, he already said Vegeta, so I'm gonna deviate. Trunks. No. When I was a kid, it was always Trunks. Hardcore. But that's because like I was watching it at that age, and so he's the you. He's your proxy, and so I was watching it like, yeah, I'm gonna cut Frieza with a big old sword. And so yeah, Trunks was my favorite. I think now Beerus is one of my favorites. I really like Beerus. But yeah,
I think Beerus really kind of.
Beerus is great, man. He's just this lazy cat who's like, I'm gonna break things if I want. You're pissing me off. We're sorry. And I'm like, no.
This is Angels and Gods. Where's Beerus?
He was sleeping. He slept in the day.
Yeah,
That
that's
made
why
me
the
laugh.
cat's not here.
He does that. What about you?
Yajirobe.
Oh, that's good. I love it when you're like showing up in the future. It's like, of course, he's good.
You're still alive.
He survived. I remember saying that.
He knew how to survive. That's all he was good at was
And
survive.
what he did. That's right. Cut off tail.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
Good question.
That's a good question. Yeah.
Hang on, this gentleman had a
Oh,
question
okay.
as well.
So when you guys are in the voice booth doing your doing your voice acting, do you guys get like a tone of the show, and does that affect how you feel with your character? Like, example, going through the Tournament of Power, like, I always had the vibe that the Grand Minister was up to some sus stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did you get that feeling, like, ahead of the script, like, maybe I am gonna be the bad guy?
Yeah, I definitely kind of, so like there was so many fan theories going around that time too, and like seeing like, you know, people kept harping on that one episode, the close-up image of his face after he erases a universe, and he just looked so satisfied with it and everything. People were like, it's gotta be the villain. And I'm like, I'm down for that. I would love to see the dude fight at some point. I don't know though. After they ended Super that way, I have absolutely no idea where they're gonna go with him. I feel like he's just gonna continue to be that kind of major domo, sort of like, but who knows? Definitely got that inkling, but we kind of had to. You can go into the booth with stuff like that, but then you kind of have to, like, if it's not something that's completely canon, or we know for a fact that that's what we're doing, you got to throw that out. Like, we can't mention it. We can't even any sort of fan theory, even if like. We would talk about stuff, like we would harp on theories with like Raleigh, who was usually directing and recording Dragon Ball Super at the time, for pretty much the whole thing. And we would constantly go back and forth about like, did you hear about this? What if this is the outcome? What if this thing? Because we don't know. Toei doesn't tell us crap. We find out usually from you people, from you guys. So, we kind of have to go in with just as much knowledge as we can find, and then just hope that, you know, whatever we know is what's going to be portrayed.
And we preview it, like in Japanese. The benefit, the skill that we had to learn is like, watch a scene in a different language and then convey that same emotion with the script that you're provided. So like, you're at least like, I can watch my guy's on the screen, he's screaming and crying. That's a good direction that I should start in. And then, man, if you have a good director, then they kind of go, okay, all right, we're gonna work this through. Dragon Ball was one that we worked really hard on. I feel like that was one where it was every single line we needed to make sure that it was right.
Absolutely.
It was good for the lore. It was everything, you know, to the T. And
we had times where we'd be uncertain about a line and then have to stop session completely and wait for an answer back from writers or something until they verified that the way we were phrasing it or the way that we were delivering the line was absolutely hitting what needed to be hit, especially if it was filled with any sort of references to previous events in the lore. Like, we could not mess that up.
And then sometimes you also see something in the script that you're like, that's a thing. They're making, like, the way that the music is doing a thing, and like, you know, like you know.
And there's the only place where you get that too.
Yeah?
Where you get to listen to the fight music during your fight scene that you're recording.
It's so, okay, so we used to have to do a thing so the elements, the background music, the sound effects, all that kind of stuff, what, 5 years ago we used to do it with the mixed out element? We didn't have those. Like, a lot of times we were just kind of doing it to no sound. Now, like, just the way that the process is streamlined, we get the music and everything, and I did one show where literally my entire direction was do your voice to match the music. If you just match the music, you got it. That's it.
It's so much easier to cry too.
Oh my God, crying is so much, because it's just the saddest music, you just listen to it kind of going up. So much easier.
I play a lot of small characters in Dragon Ball, and I'm collecting food named characters. Right now, sour raspberry leek. Doesn't that sound delicious?
I'd put that in a tea. I'd have that bubble tea.
It's the onion. It's the onion that's stopping me though. I'm like, sour raspberry, hell.
The onion's the hero.
It's like
You
the
grill it.
Oh.
Coat it.
Okay, no. You grill it, yeah, with like a reduction, like a sour raspberry reduction.
Yeah.
That
With a
sounds
grit.
tasty. Here's your Wheeze. Some Wheeze at you.
That's an LLC name right there, too.
Ooh, sour raspberry leek.
Oh, that's good.
Patent pending.
Oh, to what? All right, cool. Her and then you. Yes, ma'am.
Me?
Android 21, yes.
Can I
Thanks, Hercule.
ask a question
Just a sec.
for Austin? What was it like voicing Ken Kaneki from Tokyo Ghoul?
It was, you know, it was alright. It was so much fun. It was great. It was cathartic. It was meant to be. It's hard to describe because I was a different person at the time, and after playing that role, my life changed quite a bit. I got to sit with that character for a long time because it was like between the first thing I recorded and the last thing I recorded, it was over 4 years. And that also was the timeline and growth of the character within the anime. So there was a lot of congruity there. That yeah, a lot of that stuff seems to mirror my own desire to eat human flesh. But I learned a lot from the process. It was, strangely enough, it was less physically and vocally straining than like villainous characters, because it's like a lot of open-throated, like weepy screaming instead of like gritty screaming, or like exposition-filled screaming, which is terrible. Like, I did a thing with Accelerator where I had to scream this, like, my evil plans, but I'm screaming as fast as I can, as quickly as I can, and then it ends with the, how dare you do this to me? And like, an E is a horrible vowel sound to try to like end on. We actually, I think at the last minute, like, I was like, can we write this, like maybe to like, are you doing this to me now, or something like ow type of deal, or an O, or an ooh, or an ah. So that, it was great.
I'm sure that was pretty rough, especially during, like, you had just like 3 episodes in a row at the end of that first season where you're essentially just being tortured.
Yeah.
Like, going through all that mental stuff.
Mike was pretty kind about that. He prepared me for it. I came in already with the Chinese secret honey.
Honey loquat,
Pepper.
yeah,
Pepper.
Hulk juice.
It's this menthol honey that is very useful. And then I had soaked raw ginger in honey, and I was chewing ginger and then spitting it into a second cup in between takes, which is like not good long term, but it keeps things from swelling up. So we got through it. And Mike McFarlane was nice enough to like pretty much everything that happens in those torture scenes was the first take. Maybe there's 1 or 2 things we went back and did again, but
That's rough.
Okay, when you said something I'm really thinking about. Do you think maybe it hurt less because when you're doing screams of pain and everything, it's kind of almost an internal kind of scream for you and a release scream, whereas a villainous scream is forward, like energy and having to push because it has aggression?
Yeah, that could definitely help with where it's coming from and how it's being supported. I also wonder, like, just what the vocal, like the folds are going through with certain vowel sounds over other ones, and which ones end up getting used more often.
The amount of air you're pushing over your vocal cords, dude. And like, and a lot of times those big, angry, like,
Those really big, loud, angry scenes where your throat is just wide open and air is just like that throat, that'll dry you out so quick. But yeah, like if it's that painful, like crying sort of screaming, you kind of tend to like shorten your air passage, and so then all of a sudden you have much less air and your cords don't dry out as fast. So it kind of helps.
Interesting. I didn't think about it, just the wetness.
we don't have time to think about it.
Gotta get those cords wet.
Keep them. That's why we keep things like this on us at all times during recording sessions.
Do you guys ever use green apples?
I learned that in LA, and I haven't done it back in Texas since then. But yeah, like to kind of clean mouth noise up.
Yeah. If you're getting a lip like smacky, I can never keep them around long enough for when it is necessary.
Yeah. Did you ever what is it about that?
If you eat apples and you're way too lemonade, just cut them.
If you sound like this on the microphone, then eat a couple of.
Take a bite or 2.
Take a bite or two of a Granny Smith, and apparently it cleans it right up. It's so weird.
I wonder if it has to do with the acid thing. We could use some citric acid. I put a little bit of lemon in my stuff to try to do the same stuff.
Voice acting is science. You have a question? Yes, you had a question.
Yeah, so what is like the most funny, weird, interesting experience while recording versus being in the studio in general?
Give some stories.
Tell us a story.
I did this one show in my boxers last year. And you guys won't know which one. I did multiple shows, some of them AAA, in my boxers last year, in my closet. That's my life. Because it's in the hottest room in my house, and there's no ventilation for it. And everybody, as soon as COVID hit, all of us had to figure it out. It was just like, agents were like, figure it out as soon as you can.
You gotta build a hope booth yesterday.
I record naked all the time.
See, I haven't done naked, but I have like started absolutely fully closed. But if it's a 3 to 5 session, on like it was last summer, and it was so hot, and I just remember just being on that. I'll be like,
Yeah, I don't start naked, but
no, but you end like just dripping. And like last year, I remember dripping sweat. So now I'm trying to get all my stuff earlier morning because I know how hot that room is. 10 to 2. That's
I added. I cut a hole, cut a hole in my closet, and then ran a duct from the vent that was in the bedroom into the closet. Doesn't help that much.
It's so small.
Still.
I have a series of fans that like they'll hear me be like. They'll be like, okay, Ian, so all right, we're gonna place that. And as soon as they start placing, they hear the door open, and then click, 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 and 3 different fans all just start going on me, and I'm like, okay, ready for the next one? Stop that fan, and then I do my take. That's how I get through work.
I don't think I could
Ever go back to? I don't think I could ever go back. Like, I know we're gonna have to soon, but I don't want to go back to being in the studio. I don't want to do. I don't ever want to do that again.
If we all band together, just why we need to stay? Like they should be in the studio.
Absolutely. You have your internet connection there. You connect to us wherever we are. We record it. It's fine. It works great.
It works great.
We just did it for a year and a half. We proved it works great. Like, what's the point of having an office at this point when everybody keeps it? I know. I have my cats with me. I've got my dog occasionally whenever he's not messing up the table.
Great snacks. You got the best refreshments. Like
feels like home. Wait.
What's warming up like for you for morning sessions? I mean, because I have gotten out of bed at 9:55 to go and do a session.
Older I get, less I can. It's like last 3 years now. Now I just can't because if I try to push low and stuff like that, I have to do like 20 minutes like. I have to now. That happens. The older you get, 20-year-old you. Yeah, weirdly. Like I've got to do some like la 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 la. Or if I haven't voice acted in a week just because I haven't been booked for it, I can sit in the shower and do it. I'm fine. I'm fine. Just
get all the gunk.
Oh my god! Because if you don't use your instrument for a few days, they're like, it was the holiday weekend. So like
it atrophies. It's like just
the voice acting. Yes, you do. It's a muscle.
My favorite way to warm up is to like describe what I'm pissed off about that day. So go in there and be like, you know what just happened? And then I just tell how upset I am. And then you go through all the vocal ranges.
I used to do the one that you do, that you taught me. Yeah, it's like 30 minutes of doing that every time, but now it's mostly like, wake up. All right, that's plain now. All right, where's my coffee? Which is also horrible for me.
Baby. Anyway, yes, there's a hand in the back. There's a pride trooper, but the Weiss first apparently.
Yeah.
Then pride trooper.
I don't know if y'all know what that means. Basically, Dragon Ball has kind of been a bit of an issue, especially in the manga, where like, you know, I think we can all agree that the angels are the top tier, right? It goes like
Obvious.
Zeno, maybe his pencil neck guards, I think, Grand Priest, and then the Angels. Okay, 4th tier, right? So Deering comes out, everyone's like, oh, he's stronger than Beerus and stuff like that. Goku gets over there, stronger than Beerus. Boros, I guess, stronger than Beerus too, right? The mangas keep going on and on. We're kind of power creeping Ultra Instinct now. How do y'all feel if, like, you know, say Dragon Ball continues a few years later, and then a big baddie shows up, and he's like one-shotting Angels, like power creeping Angels? Because it's eventually gonna happen, right? How do you think that would go about? Like, you think that'd be a cool thing? Like, how do you think they're gonna handle that? Because eventually that ceiling is gonna get reached. Well,
Before you answer, just remember, take everything that we're saying here with a grain of salt, because we have absolutely no freaking clue.
No idea. You're about to get a bunch of sarcastic. I mean, I gotta say, using Beerus as this person might be like stronger than Beerus or whatever. If someone was stronger than your house cat, that doesn't mean it's stronger than you. Like, if I can beat up your cat, that doesn't mean I can beat you up. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that, okay, so someone might be stronger than Beerus. Okay. Do I think if someone's gonna outpace the Angels? No. Do I think that maybe you might have issues with Angels? Maybe the Angels stop putting up with everybody's crap? That's absolutely a thing that I think could happen. Do I know anything? No. Do I want it to be that? Yes, very much so. I would like us to be bad guys. Like,
absolutely.
Because then I would have to explain how Whis was that way the whole time, and just like have this whole like. I mean, I didn't care. It was my cat.
Like the TVAs.
Yes. Just like the TVA. Oh my God, we're the TVA. Oh crap.
Oh no. Okay. I don't know. We're gonna need to talk about that.
We're gonna talk about that.
I see what you mean.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Now the Pride Trooper in the back.
Yes.
For Ian Sinclair, do you think that Goku and Vegeta will ever be able to compete?
No.
But what about Superman though?
Oh, okay. So if the debate is Superman versus Goku, the answer is Whis. Oh my God! As soon as I will trust me, not the biggest Superman fan, and I'm trying. I'm actively reading Superman to try to like him, but like, man, the second I knew for a fact that I played a character that could just wail on Superman, it meant a lot. It meant a lot. Superman's done.